Sagittarius, welcome to your tarot reading today. Let's talk about your Sag. Today we're going to do a past, present, future reading. So let's tap into the collective. Let's see what's going on, what's been going on. See how you're feeling about it now, where the situation stands, how it's going to play out. Well, you're being asked to be flexible. Go with the flow, adjust on the fly. Let's see why this has come out. Let's talk about you. Let's see what's going on, Sag. All right, let's get into your reading. What's the past energy? You'll know if this is your reading. The Five of Wands, okay. Little struggle, a little struggle or a challenge. Where does it stand now? What's the present energy? Justice. Woo, and the future energy. The Emperor is in reverse. Ooh. There's a Devil. We have 3 major arcanas in this reading, and there's only 4 cards. There's a Magician in reverse. 5. The Devil and the Magician in reverse is a habit, an addiction, an attachment that is stopping us from living to our fullest potential. So let's see what's going on here, because there could be a struggle letting go of an addiction or letting go of a habit or an attachment. What's the Five of Wands? What's this past energy? How's Sag going to know if this is their reading? What's going on? What's going on? What's up with Sag? The Wheel of Fortune. There's a lot of major arcanas for Sag. So major arcanas are heavy hitters, heavy energy, things that are having a huge impact on your life. The minor arcanas are the daily things, right? Going to the bathroom, going to the movies, going shopping, going to eat, people you deal with. So, the Judgment, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Two of Cups. There's the struggles. I'm trying to see what you decided. You made some kind of decision. You did. There's the Eight of Wands and the Four of Wands. You made a decision. You were struggling to make a decision, or you were struggling to let go. Again, some of you feel it's an addiction, maybe token, smoking, drinking, eating sugar. Sugar is like a major addiction. You know what? I used to be addicted to coffee. Maybe this is my reading. We'll find out. I used to be addicted to coffee. I drank coffee every morning. Not a real coffee. I like cafe mocha, half coffee, half hot chocolate. I'm pretty hyper, so if I had a full coffee, I'd be like a fucking Red Bull. I'd be like, Red Bull gives you wings. I would be crazy. But I can't drink coffee anymore. I'm distraught because I really like my cafe mocha. Maybe you can't do something anymore, right? 15 years ago, I had to stop eating meat. I couldn't eat meat anymore. So I feel like there is an addiction, a healthy attachment, a bad habit, a bad pattern that was creating challenges for you, right? Let's say you're a smoker. It's 2026. It must be very hard to be a smoker. You can't smoke anywhere, right? 20 years ago, you could smoke everywhere. Now it's a problem in your life, right? Now you need to smoke a cigarette. You're out of a movie. You can't just pick up a smoke. So there's something that was making life harder than it needed to be for you. It was creating challenges. But in the recent past, you acknowledged that, Sag. You picked that up. You realized that. And you let it go. You made the decision to move forward. I don't think it was easy. We could still be dealing with it. We'll find out. But the Knight of Wands is there. So this was, you're quitting smoking. You got a week. You're doing great. And then you fall off track. You go back and you start smoking again, right? You're trying to stop drinking. You drink a wine every day. You drink a bottle of wine. You get drunk every night. You go a week. Then you fall off the bandwagon. Something shitty happens and you fall off track, right? Just get back up. Get back on that train. Just continue to move forward. You're going to have setbacks. So I feel like there's been setbacks and challenges in releasing this, whatever the devil is for you, Sag. Like I said, addictions, shopaholics, some of you are shopaholics. So it was a struggle, or you were struggling, or I guess we'll find out when we get to the present energy, but you're struggling to stop, to let it go, right? Especially if it's something that you're physically addicted to, like sugar. People, if you're addicted to sugar, like there is withdrawal symptoms from sugar. You're gonna get a headache, like it's very addictive. So is there anything else you want to say about that challenge, or where we'll get that in the present, but is there anything else we need to know about that, or anything else you want to say to Sag? The Chariot. You can do this. You can do it! Right? There's a Nine of Wands. So it's like once you commit and make your mind up, you'll be fine. So I'm referring to myself, but when I quit smoking, I had to start and stop. It took me 5 years to successfully quit smoking, okay? It was not easy. But once my mind was set up, I had that one moment, it revolved around my son, I didn't want him smoking. And once that happened, it just clicked, and I just never had a cigarette again. So it's like, you can do this. You'll have that click moment. You'll have that element. But the Chariot is the card of success and overcoming barriers. So you're overcoming this, and you're successfully overcoming an addiction, a bad habit, or an unhealthy attachment to something, Sag. Okay. Where you are now is Justice. All right, what's that mean? What does that mean for Sag? What's this Justice energy? What's this for Sagittarius? The sun is in reverse. The moon, there's your feminine, your masculine. And the Knight of Pentacles. You're coming to the realization that it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of effort. You feel like you've already put in a lot of work and a lot of effort. I'm not sure if you're disappointed. You're a little disappointed in yourself. You are. You're a little, I mean, it could be money, right? If it's an addiction, let's say it's cigarettes, right? Or you're vaping, like that costs a lot of money. I've seen this guy. You know, I'm telling you something. I see a short and then I'll have a video or a reading about that short. It happens all the time. I feel like Spirit's like putting the short in me so I can reference it. But I saw this guy and he was like a car repo guy. And he's like, these are the habits that are going to keep you poor. He's like, this is the things that I notice from everybody who I repo the car from. First of all, they vape or they smoke. There's always a pack of cigarettes. There's always a vape or something in the car because that's expensive. But they also buy a lot of lottery tickets, scratch tickets. I thought that was really interesting. He said like he'll get piles and piles and piles and piles of scratch tickets. So it's like they're causing more challenges than they need to be. Why are they buying so many scratch tickets? You really think you're gonna win? Like maybe you do. Maybe limit it to one scratch ticket a week. But so it's a sense where you're disappointed in yourself. But the thing is, and the message behind this is, don't be. Every single person in this freaking world has a crutch, a bad habit, made a bad choice, did something that hurt themselves, right? Smoke, toke, drink, whatever it is. So it's an element where they want you to learn from it instead of being disappointed in yourself, right? Let's say you got addicted to alcohol, you're drinking your bottle of wine every day, you never thought this would be you, you thought you're disappointed in yourself. But again, with the Justice, the message here is to just be consciously aware of your thoughts, your actions, not your thoughts, excuse me, your choices. So every time you're feeling the nicotine, ask yourself, is this good for me to have this cigarette? What are the long-term consequences of that cigarette right now versus my short-term gratification? So it's just asking those questions when you're dealing with that challenge instead of being disappointed with yourself. You know what? You started smoking. So you started drinking. So now you know what you want to do and just make a different choice instead of being disappointed in yourself. So there's that element here too with the Knight of Pentacles, the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, where it's like they want you to be proud of yourself, right? Maybe you used to smoke 5 packs a day and now you're down to 1, right? You've done the work. You've really done a lot of that effort. You've done the internal work. So I feel like right now you might be disappointed that you're facing this or dealing with this, but at the same time they want you to be proud of that because acknowledging it is the first step to creating change. And once you're disappointed with yourself and consciously aware, you're going to make a different choice, and that's not going to be something that plagues you in the future. But I do feel that current energy is a little disappointment, and again with that Justice, like asking yourself, right, if it's drinking, if I have this bottle of wine right now, what will that do for me long term? What will that do for me short term? What's the best choice? And just consciously evaluate your decisions in your head before you make them. Some people don't do that. Some people do. And this is just be conscious. Some people do it unconsciously, right? And that's what I got here is just don't be disappointed in yourself. Just make different choices and learn from that. But don't think you're alone either because everybody has one. I used to smoke. Everybody has something. Everybody's got a crutch or a deal that they deal with their stress or, an unhealthy habit. It's human nature and it's part of spirituality is overcoming those lower virtues, those animal instincts, those habits. That's basically spirituality summed up into a high-level summary by yours truly. Okay, now your future energy here, Sag, is the Emperor's in reverse. Okay, before we get there, we're going to grab some oracles. We're going to see what they want to say, and then we'll jump into this. We'll see how you're doing. We'll see how things are going and how things are progressing for you. First of all, let's see what you need to surrender to, baby. What does Sag need to silence? In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. Let's grab the Akashic Record. What's the Akashic Record message here for Sag? What's the Akashic Record message here for Sag? Excuse me, itchy nose. Gonna kiss a fool. Alright, Akashic Record. Creativity. Oh, we got 2. Reward and recognition. Okay. So, seeing this card is a sign that it's time to focus inward. Work on your skills, discover your talents, and use your imagination. Unleash your inner artist, and doing so will boost your self-esteem and sense of confidence. It does wonder to your sense of purpose and contributes to your community. Distract yourself so you're not thinking about that cigarette or that toke or that alcohol. reward and recognition. So congratulations, your hard work will pay off and take you in the direction of your dreams. So acknowledge your efforts and own your power. It is not in vain. It is absolutely worth it, Sag. And I feel like whatever that is, you have to release that for your frequency to rise and to get, you know, a goal or an aspiration, something that you're trying to target, right? Okay. I do want to get the shadow self. I feel like you're facing an addiction or an unhealthy attachment or pattern or habit or something here. So let's see what the shadow self wants to say. Escapism. Yeah. So detach from your daily struggles and relax, but don't use it as a form of avoidance. And we do the devil as a form of avoidance. Can't forgive. So a heavy burden is holding you captive in the past, trapping you in a cycle of resentment. And sometimes that, not dealing with that, we will numb ourselves. We will turn to substances. It's very common. We got to heal and remove the forgiveness energy so something isn't holding you back anymore, Sag. Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's get to it. Let's get your potential outcome. Now, when I say potential, there is always free will. You're going to make the decisions you're going to make. And when I say outcome, let's see where you are 30 days. What's today's? 27th, 28th of February. We're coming to the end of February. I gotta do our monthly readings. What day is it? I think we're coming to the end of February, so the next reading I do will be our monthly reading for March, but we'll go to the end of March 2026. We'll see how you're doing, how you're feeling. We'll see. We have the Emperors in reverse. So how's Sag? How's this playing out? How's Sag doing? Let's understand this. Where are they here? We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Eight of Cups. Okay, what's on the other side? Hold on. There's the Page of Cups. And there's the Queen of Cups. A lot of cups here. What's this Queen of Cups? That's you. Okay. The thing is, the Emperor is in reverse. And the Knight of Wands is here. I actually feel like the Emperor in reverse is an energy. I feel like it's things out of control. Things you can't do anything about, right? You have a real crappy day. You hit every single red light. You're late for work. Your boss reamed you out. You try to go home. Your car dies. You got to take a bus. It's like you just have a really shitty day. There's just things that are outside of your control that you can't do anything about. And I feel like whatever that devil was, I think it was your crutch, your way of dealing with that, right? You have a shitty day, just chain smoke for the rest of the night. You have a crappy day, drink some wine here, de-stress, reconnect. Like, there's an element where that was your crutch and that's how you dealt with some of those stressors. But what I see here in the future is you're realizing that doesn't benefit you anymore. It's not vibing with you. You know, and as your frequency rises, you're going to be leaving those things behind. So with the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups, this is you're not going back and forth anymore. Your mind is made up, Sag. And once your mind's made up, you won't want that wine. You won't want that toke, that vape, that smoke. You won't want that sugar. Your mind's made up, right? Once you don't have sugar for a week and then you go have sugar, you are going to have a stomach ache. You're going to realize this hurts my body, right? You haven't had grease. I don't eat grease. And if I go out like to a restaurant, I'll have some French fries and I'll get some grease. I'll be like, oh my God, I need to go to the number 2 here. So it's like, it doesn't vibe with my body. You'll start to really realize that. You go without a cigarette and then you have a cigarette, you'll be like, oh, can't stand the taste of it. I can't stand the smell of it. So it's like that element where you're not going back and forth, right? You're not sitting there dreaming about getting off work so you can get drunk or getting off work so you can go have your cigarette. Like those thoughts and visions and escapism energy is not there anymore. I feel with the Three of Cups, this Page of Cups, you're focused, but I want to see if it's like a message or something coming in or what's Page of Cups? What's the Page of Cups for Sag? So again, I found you're finding healthier ways of dealing with your stressors. That's what I'm going to say. You're not going back and forth anymore. You've let go of that devil energy, Sag. The Ten of Wands. Oh, there's a Page of Wands. What is this conversation? This is an internal conversation, but it's done. Okay, so this is your internal mind. This is your inner world here, Sag. You have an inner voice. I can't believe there are people out there that don't. So this is you really focusing on what you want, knowing that that was really holding you back and you're not letting it get the best of you, right? This is like having a little conversation in your head. You're having, but you're keeping your eye on the prize, right? Like, I know for you Americans, some of you have to get like drug tested and stuff, and like cannabis isn't legal there. So if if you're a cannabis toker, smoker, chewer, eater, and you want a job where that's illegal, you want your job, you got to give that up, right? It's not legal in Canada, it's legal here. So it has been for a long time. That's Justin Trudeau's doing. So there's and isn't it ironic that Trudeau's father is the one that lowered the drinking age? That's why people voted for Mr. Senior Trudeau in the 80s. But so there's an element here where you're not missing it. If that thought comes in your head, it's like you shoo it away real quick, right? Come on, Sag, you want this cigarette? No, I don't. I do not want that cigarette. Remember what happened last time? It hurt my throat, it hurt my stomach, I couldn't stand the taste of it. So your eyes are on the prize. You're keeping focused on what it is that you want, and you're not going to let this distraction, this habit, this creed stop you, because I feel the Five of Cups is here. It has in the past, right? Maybe you get so drunk, you get hungover, you can't go to work, you call in sick, you get fired. So there's just an element where whatever it prevented you or created a disappointment in your past, and you don't want to go through that again. The Page of Cups here is your dream and your goal, right? However it applies to you, whatever it is that you want here, this was bringing you down and delaying it. And that delay's not here anymore, because now you're seeing the fruits of your labor, right? You got this new job, you got your first paycheck here. It's, $5,000 every 2 weeks before you're making two. Like, you're really seeing the recognition, the rewards. Wait a minute, that card, that's what I'm saying. I forgot this card came. You're really seeing the reward for your hard work. And when you get those rewards and you get that progress, in my opinion, it makes it so much easier to stick to it. I don't even think about smoking anymore. When I see people smoke, I'm actually disgusted. So you'll get there too if that's, and I smoked when I was pregnant. Fucking disgusted myself. But, 18 years ago, I couldn't quit. Anyway, so it's that element where you're not self-sabotaging by creating a bad habit. You've learned how to deal with things differently. You've created better habits for yourself, and you are happy in your life, Sag. So whatever it was stopping or preventing or delaying, it has come through. For some of you, I really do feel like it's money and a career. Look at you. Look at you. 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, baby. Okay, smoke. So, you prove to God, you prove to Source that you can do this, and they rewarded you with finances and riches. Sag, that's what I have, that's what I got, that's what's going down. You handle this like a boss, but I do feel it was really hard, but you're coming to the end of that hardness, that challenge, and everything falls into place beautifully for you here in the month or so. All right, baby, that's what I got, that's what's up, that's what's going down. So Sag, I hope you enjoyed your reading, and if you like your reading, if you like my style, I do ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Hype the channel, hype the reading. It does help my channel. It helps other Saggies get the reading, so thank you. I always appreciate your support, Sag. Let's close your reading off with your yes or no question. Yes or no? What is the answer for Sagittarius? The answer is negative. Oh, I got a lot. Okay, hold on. I got 3. That was the third one, but you already saw it. So, question number 1, the answer is negative. If you were going back and forth, Which question do I want to ask? Question number 2 is maybe. I'm hearing the yes is question number 2. So it's not a maybe, it's a let me think about it. The answer is yes. All right, Sag, I truly wish you the best of luck. Until next time.